Alright, I'm going to go over my trade review for the day. So, let's see. Let's start with my pre-market journal. Just read that. So last night I started my job at 42nd Street as a server to take some of the pressure off being profitable as a trader. I'm really looking forward to how that shifts my mindset because I will be making some money elsewhere. I believe this will help me, but exhaustion's real, and it's going to cut into my free time, so I won't be able to study trading as much. I just still need to make the effort to do that. Set aside some time today, maybe to read, get ahead a little bit in some books, but that's really where I'm trying to go with this. In my morning psychology dose, I looked at some of the trader feed blogs about overtrading. I did overtrade today, and it did cost me about a third of my profits. So that's the game. I will be focusing mostly on taking perfect setups so I do not overtrade. You know, I always get trigger happy, and I've got to continue to reel that in. But I think truly it was better today than it has been, and that was because I took a great trade off the bat. I'll be working on overtrading and taking A+ up. So I took a good trade right off the bat, and it kind of opened the floor up for me to look for other things in play, because I was not satisfied when really truly I should have been satisfied with that. I made what I could make in a night of serving, a little more really in 5 minutes trading NVAX. So it's just something I gotta work on. So yeah, my really good trade today that I'm gonna playbook is NVAX, and we'll go through that. Oh, what's it doing now? It pulled back to my level. Wow. What's Moderna doing? Moderna didn't even pull back. That's quite interesting. So, this was a good trade I made, really, because I got the majority of the move up and probably really made most of my money on the IV of the push, because it just kind of flagged here and then broke out and failed. And I was trading in this area, so I actually made some decent money. Let's see what Neo's doing. That was on my watch list. Yeah. It's gonna squeeze on the 5 minute. I'm just thinking it's gonna fail this view up though. Anyway, I'm not looking to trade it really. Kind of done for the day, even though I do have some buying power left. I could go look for some more setups, but really I think that the big move already happened in NVAX, and so I'm going to go ahead and playbook that for myself. So we're gonna go on the 1 minute time frame because that's what I was trading. And we're gonna check this out. Okay. So what happened here was jumped around in the open. You know, in the daily time frame, we're seeing, you know, kind of this action. So it made a huge run up yesterday. You can see that here. Really nice run up, pulled back. And then once it kind of broke above the high of day yesterday, that was my play, is I was looking for a continuation of that. And I wanted to see it break above high day, pull back, and give me an entry. Pull back, give me an entry, and give me a confirmation that it was not going to continue to pull back. And that's really what it did. I thought it would make it all the way back down to the VWAP, so I was kind of hesitant to get back in here. So but once it got above this and formed a new candle, started pushing, the tape lit up big. We can look at my film on that. But yeah, it was really a solid trade. Tons of volume here, you know, that was what I was really looking at. There's this pouring in of volume, this increasing volume that just drove the price up. You know, people covering. There's a trap here for the shorts. You can see it on the tape. Anyway, we'll get into that. But first of all, I want to talk about the big picture. What else we need to talk about? So, big picture stuff. I already went over that. Fundamentals. NVAX. Really the only fundamental that I care about most of the time is the ATR. And, you know, relative volume, which it came up on my relative volume scan, so it checked that box. This is 4 standard deviations away from normal volume. And we had a $15 ATR just about, which is perfect for me because I'm looking to trade quick movements with that move a lot of money, a lot of points, because that's how you can get big trades on options, and it's just a way to, you know, better use your capital, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and pull up my film.
Alright. Okay, video's dying off a little bit here. Oh, it got an unusual call sweep.
Alright, I'm going to skip around here. Alright, yeah, you can kind of see him drawing my levels here. So I'm waiting for it to set up. Wanted to pull back to this view up. Set an alert, kind of there. Okay, here we go. This is when I'm looking to get along.
Spies are ripping. He's kind of verifying right here.
Check out NVAX on the 1 minute.
Bull flagging. I'm just waiting on it to figure out what it wants to do. I'm sacrificing price for confirmation.
How we take? You can tell I'm breathing heavy here. It's a large stock. The IV was huge on it. I think contracts were trading for. It's a $200 stock, and contracts were trading for $1,000. So lots of.
NVIDIA's short in here, and then just make my stop pre-market high. I mean pre-market low, not high.
I really like the way it was aggressive there. It pulls back, but it stays aggressive above this level. And for me, that's enough confirmation to enter a trade. I get filled there. The launch just continues.
Damn, that was sexy.
I'm mostly interested.
Oh yeah. Look at NVIDIA drop.
Mostly interested in looking at the bid ask here, trying to figure out what's going on because the tape is real messy. I definitely need a better software for this, but the tape is definitely messy, and I don't quite see any edge in the tape itself. But I'm watching this because there's a couple offers over here that if they get taken out or pulled could really move this thing up, and it's kind of barren on the downside, which means it could fall quick. But it just seems that the pressure is more towards pushing this more towards jumping in the offers, and we'll see it continue.
I'm trading NVAX right now.
See that? These offers are pushing up, and looking to and they just got filled. So those offers took.
Trading NVAX right now.
These offers took, and that really pushed it up. And that is confirmation in itself. You know, I don't know if I would have added there or what. But you can kind of see that there's a huge offers getting taken out, and it just rolls from there. 47 offers at 225, blowing through it. You know, we can't get enough offers, and they'll probably pull that, I would think. But you know, I don't really remember what happens on the tape. That's why. See, that got pulled. So now we're looking at. Okay, there's a lot more to be had here. Nobody wants to sell it there. Okay, now we're starting to, that pressure's off. Let's see where this can roll. You know, there's not as many offers for it to take. Nobody's bidding it. More on the offers. It's liquidity. And then the tape just lit up green. There's some huge size coming in. And we're starting to creep through the offers again. Nope, nope. Okay, we just took out 225. 225 is taken out. We're above that now. We're moving rather quick now.
Alrighty. Tape steadily climbing on NVAX. Lots of volume pouring in.
Volume increasing there. I didn't even check that
on the high side
until then. But it just shows that there was a lot more people hitting these bids, and that's what we look for.
I'm gonna go ahead and take some profit on it. Actually, I'm kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's crazy?
Tape just lit up. Offers taken out.
Yeah, I'm
call.
Well, I'm gonna hang on to it for a little bit. I didn't buy 2 contracts. I only bought
Holy
1.
fuck, yeah, you're printing. Holy shit.
I'm just careful about this tape. I'm ready to get out if it starts to turn.
And you see the tape
And it's
just,
so big.
you know, it started to move against me a little bit,
I'm
and
selling it in tape.
I don't like it, and I'm out.
If you're only holding a runner, I mean.
I cleared 360, but I only bought 1 contract, so I didn't give myself enough. If I would have bought 2 contracts, I could have risked. I could have closed out 1 and saved some risk, but I definitely sold before this pullback. Yeah. I'm kind of looking for a pullback to the VWAP to see what happens there. I don't know.
Dude, yeah, NVIDIA's just straight chomp after that.
So, I mean, as you can see, psychologically I took that well. Well, you can't see me because I'm in the way, but I didn't get all excited when I won that. I was just reading this tape, and I was glad that I saw these sellers come in. I want to kind of look over that again because this is an important thing to see. You know,
I'm just careful about this tape. I'm ready to get out if it starts to turn.
it's just okay. Now we take out 50 cents worth. We're starting.
It's so big.
They're starting to find liquidity on the
selling it
bids.
in tape.
And that's when I got out. But really what it is this.
It's so big.
It's up. It's gone parabolic away from the.
I'm selling it in tape.
If you're only holding a runner, I mean.
I cleared 360,
And
but
then it
I
just falls
only
apart
bought
below-
1 contract.
below
so I didn't give myself
225.
enough. If I would have
Below 225, it just kind of falls apart, and that was a kind of a really good thing to notice that, you know, it was kind of on momentum going up there, but you know, it dropped a whole $1. See, that's risky. Like if you got in there, you're toast. You know, you took a $200 loss on that, or $150 loss. And that's, you know, so it was a nice. That was a good time to get out, and I just kind of hit the ask right here.
It's so big.
I said, okay, I'm getting out of this guy.
I'm selling it in tape.
Lots
If you're only holding a runner, I mean.
I cleared 360, but I only bought 1.
Yeah, so that was a good. I think that was a good trade. So I'm gonna go through some of these questions that I try to make for myself. Okay, review process. So my intuition just totally told me that, and that is something like, honestly, I think my intuition on, if your intuition is keeping you from losing money, then I think there is an opportunity to grow it there as far as putting it into action, because this was key for me. Like, if I'm not comfortable with using intuition to throw more risk at something. However, I am comfortable with using some intuition to take risk off, and that is where this played in. And the selling hit the tape. That was what really triggered that. It was good for me. So where do I want to get bigger in this? Definitely want to have at least 2 contracts off the bat, and that would have been able. Then I would have been able to. I could have cut 2 contracts below VWAP and taken a $100 loss, but that's just not in my playbook right now. And so, with the risk that I have, this was a solid trade. I'm not too worried about the fact that I didn't get to capitalize on all of this move, or the fact that I had to get out when it moved up $4 or $5, but that's okay. I think that's a solid trade for me. I could have got out up at the top, but there was no reason to sell there. The reason to sell here was the sellers just hit the tape. The bids stopped getting smacked. The offers stopped getting smacked. The bids started to get dry over here, and that's when things can pull back real nasty, and sellers can get caught, or just things can just pull back nasty, and that to me was enough to get out of this trade. So here's some psychological questions I'm going to go over. Did I feel like I was in control of my trading? When you put a trade on, always it's kind of hard to know that, but here I definitely felt in control, and I felt like the bid-ask spread was pretty tight on these options, and I could get in and out if I needed to. And that's something to look for in the future, because it keeps your frustration down. Did I manage my risk correctly? Yes, I did not oversize this. And I can't size up with the volatility that this contract, or that this underlying has, so I had to use my discretion. And that's when I went with one contract. There were $1,000. That's, I still have $1,000 to trade with today because of that, but I'm not going to trade anymore. Did I break any of my trading rules? I did not break any trading rules on this, I don't think. I was in and out quick. I waited for it to set up. I did not get in chasing. I didn't go back in and try to get back into this after it pulled back. I just let it go. The rules I did break, though, was I traded more than 3 times today. And, those losses chipped away at the profits from NVAX. Did I add or subtract any bad habits? No, I think this was a really solid play. I think it was a habit-free type of, this was good. Did I get euphoric or stressed out? Obviously, there was some stress at the beginning because of such huge contract and its volatility, but it immediately started working towards me, and that's what I like to see. That keeps me out of, that keeps me from cutting it, out of being scared. And I've got to work on that relief that I get from cutting a contract, because for me that is a problem that I need to look at and work on. I was not very mindful of my thought patterns. Going back and looking at the film, I can see the tape and I can see myself talking out loud, but I certainly need to be more aware of that and start to focus on that more. Did I objectively identify my edges? I did. Did I predefine my risk? Well, I have a predefined stop, and I had a $40 stop on the ticker, which is pretty freaking low. I accepted that risk, and I acted on my edges without reservation or hesitation. I paid myself as the market made money available to me. I didn't have multiple contracts, so I just had to pay myself when it started pulling against me. But that, that's something that I should if I had 2 contracts, I could have gotten out of it. And that's the risk you take. It's like, okay, are we going to take a huge loss on this right off the bat and not get into it? Are we going to risk missing the move because we get stopped out because we size too large? And to me, the sizing with 1 contract was the way to go. But I mean, in the future, when I have bigger size, I want to be able to, you know, and this thing was moving with Moderna. Just, you know, just the biotech vaccines shots companies were really moving today. So that's my playbook on this trade, and I will continue. By the way, today is July 20th, 21.